afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only Master Propaganda. Off here to a 1 vs 1 on crossing in the woods in the south. It's Angreifen, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Rolling out here with the 21st Panzer Division. As the north, it's 3imWeckla, fighting for King and Country, the Commonwealth. The 7th Armoured Division, the Desert Rats. We got Spearhead, we got Storm, we got Mobile Offensive with Double Infantry Panther versus Royal Artillery, Vanguard, and Advanced Emplacements with Grenade and Infantry from 3imWeckla. Sniper start here for Angreifen, an interesting choice there, but certainly versus the British could be an idea. Since that way he doesn't have to worry about having to fight the sections square on, since that usually tends to be in the section's favour, whereas he just, shoots at them from afar. Of course, it does mean he's going to fall behind on the British in terms of map controls. It's obviously not without restriction. That usually tends to be one of the main risks with sniper starts like these. You will fall behind on map control. Plus, of course, if you get caught in a bad spot where the sniper gets wiped early on, you're really fudged. So we'll have to see what happens here. Sandbags up here in the west, also heading eastwards there. 3imWeckla going very aggressive with the section, which tends to be very common for the British, since again you can play the sections very aggressively due to the high firepower, high durability. Of course, you can then rush them into heavy cover. Any piece of cover, of course, they become even more formidable. So in that regard, to an extent, they're almost encouraged now to rush them into head there. Anyway, sniper setting up there. Gunleaders following up here for Angreifen. Sniper ranging ahead here, of course, needs to be careful. He doesn't get caught off guard by, say, a universal carrier. Though, of course, that also depends to an extent. Is 3imWeckla expecting a very early sniper, like we see here from Angreifen? Sniper gets off a hit on the section, gets a kill. Nice work there. Sandbags in the east as he slowly advances there. Note he's going for the missions first, not the fuel of the victory point. Probably trying to screen off the area before securing it. Sniper there caught by the section, already down to half health. There go the section, and there you go Angreifen forced to retreat the sniper before losing him. MD4 turning up, but as you can see there, it's pretty risky with a sniper like this, and again, one mistake there, and Angreifen would have been short a sniper very fast, in which case, again, he would have been in for a very uncomfortable experience. 4th section away there for 3imWeckla. Again, so far, very standard British strategy, in particular, again, for sort of more aggressive players. Just get out a lot of sections, grenades, both of them, at which point your Wehrmacht player can certainly run into a very uncomfortable time. Again, a power man, and again, that's sort of what the sniper's there to sort of help deal with, by again just ignoring a bunch of the section strengths, but just shooting at them from afar. Gunleaders moving ahead for the western point. MD42 out there to help deal with the sections. We'll have to see what follow-ups here. There we go, gets a kill. Terrence drops dead. His body bereft of life, and there you go, MD42 opening out there as well. Half health, being pushed back. Gunleaders ground the point here. Pioneers got the victory point. 480 versus 500. 4th section arriving. We'll have to see. Oh, we got fast tech up there for 3imWeckla. No upgrades yet. Oh, there we go. Also very early upgrades of grenades there for 3imWeckla. No bolted section. Still going to further leave less margin for there for Angreifen. Good flank there. Could very quickly do some heavy damage. Tech up and another Gunleader squad there. So we're looking at 2 Gunleaders, 1 sniper, MD42 for Angreifen versus 3imWeckla. Section hiding about here, hoping for anything to just pass into its line of fire or within its grenade range. Section setting out there, medical kits handed out. 2nd Grenadier squad almost down there for Angreifen and Deutsch, and they go before to their ambush by the section, completely blindsiding Angreifen there. Thankfully, within range too close, they can't pop the grenade too easily, but that could easily end up very ugly there for Angreifen. Certainly highlights the dangers there versus the British. Bit of skirmishing in the west. Grenadiers almost taken out here by a grenade. Sniper there again, forced away here. And caught negative cover, almost getting wiped there. And again, any wipe early on is going to be absolutely catastrophic there for Angreifen. And there you go, grenade off again. Quick retreat this time around, suffers negligible damage. But he's lost the other Grenadier squad there, wasn't paying attention and retreated too slowly. In which case, thing is, sections are really good at wiping retreating units. They are really good at it. Which combined with grenade can really quickly turn things sour again if you're not completely in control of things, because again, one mistake there and they have a really good chance of landing those wipes. So very dangerous situation there for Angreifen here versus 3imWeckla. Sapper's almost done there. Noting no bullshit units there for him as of yet. Nor any sign of doctrine yet for either player either. Machine gun moving westwards to help defend the resources there. Sniper waiting for the medics, because again, any encounter with the British now is going to be absolutely fatal. Worth noting that he has yet to build a like to make a nice company, despite taking up reasonably fast. He probably wants a replacement Grenadiers, or maybe another MD42. Moving eastwards there, section here, could try and dig in. Section moving for the fuel point. Gonna do squad number 2 on the way there again for Angreifen. And Sniper is healed up. Good to go once more there for Angreifen and the 21st Panther Division section. They push back the MD40, or the MD42 pushing back the section, not the other way around. Could threaten with a flank if he just grabs the fuel point, knowing Angreifen has to attack into that, which is generally not in the favour of the Germans. Section moving eastwards. Sample moving westwards.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
So for Angreifen, there remains in a sticky spot there versus 3imWeckla. Snapping westwards there, 5 kills. Going to start away. The MD42 covering up here. Aggressive positioning. Though not easy to flank up there, though still could happen if he's not careful. And even here, the section can technically deal with the MD42 since they hit their building. The MD42 is low on health, and even behind heavy cover again, the section do pack a lot of firepower as long as again they get that cover garrison bonus. So the MD42 there is going to have to fall back because otherwise the section has a very good chance of just murdering right now and there again. East Commandeers pushing back the sappers. We got artillery over here as well for 3imWeckla to further disrupt any movements there for Angreifen. Back here, light mechanized company finally getting up there for Angreifen and Germany. AC Mark 3 on the way there for 3imWeckla to further cut off any potential light vehicles and put more pressure on Angreifen, so that's going to force a Pack 40. Or he's going to have to go for a bunch of 2-2s and handle them quite well, in which case he can deal with the AC, but again it's going to require a lot more from him than it's going to require from 3imWeckla. Sniper there with 9 kills so far. Almost 10, but there you go, grenade again. Angreifen there. Ooh, too slow to retreat there. I'll get it on time. Sniper in a really bad spot. We got light machine gun up there. It's going to be close. It's going to be really close. Machine gun there, ready to go up. Going to need to fall back. So there you go. Got a kill. A section on the just 2 men. Got that point cut off. Both fuel points under control of 3imWeckla as well, which really allows them to just further race ahead. And as the British, that is actually a really dangerous situation being from there, in part because again the British already have reasonably fast and cheap tech compared with the Wehrmacht. So usually for the Wehrmacht, one of their best options in the game is just getting up to tier 3 faster than the other factions. That way you begin building up with the arm advantage. But when you're up against the British and you're already early game falling behind, things very quickly get nasty. We got Panther grenadiers on the way, and certainly versus sections they can be helpful, and who knows, they can of course also be used to quickly back up with Panther. Nope, cancels them for 2-2s, which means he's going to have to get 2 2-2s, because 1 2-2 versus an AC, you're going to have to be absolutely a god, and your opponent's going to have to be a bit of a clod in response. And even with 2 2-2s, it's still pretty tricky and kind of risky. But at least it does not require godlike skills, just demigod, superhuman ones. Oh wait, first to ramming here, he's going to again need a second one. Theoretically, he could try and, take out, go mobile defense, calling the Puma, but even then that's going to mean the Puma's not going to happen anytime soon, so we'll have to see what happens there. MD42 routed, going to pioneers and watch here, going to just grab the eastern fuel point, at least he's sort of putting some pressure back there against 3imWeckla. Sniper hiding there. Does not wish to make him an easy target there from 3imWeckla. Very good idea. Big push here, double section versus the Pioneers. Not enough false, I think he needs to stop it. He could roll with the 2 to deal with that, and he's just not moving it. Again, it feels like he wants the other 2-2, but for some reason isn't getting it. So we'll have to see what Angreifen's playing. There we go, second 2-2. Like to punch a Spearwagen. Sniper here. Kind of knows where it is, and there we go, trying to make a quick escape there before 3imWeckla can probably respond and take out the sniper. I mean, he's just gotten some kills at it. It's still pretty painful for Angreifen to lose the sniper, but he kind of, I think, stuck around there for too long and should have tried, get out faster. We got the 2-2 moving out, opening up the AC, and yeah, that sniper is... Oh, Pop Smoky using the 2-2. Oh, there might be a hope here, actually. The sniper could end up being used as bait here, allowing the 2-2 getting extra hits. And there you go, does actually end up using that Pops more smoke here, but still a Panther fast goes from the AC, and now the double 2-2 is going to get rid of it. A huge turnaround there for Angreifen. He's also going for mobile defense, but 3imWeckla got 2 folks on the sniper, wanted to kill it, and actually gave Angreifen the opening to basically exploit this hyper focus on the sniper, and then use the 2-2s to take it down. Really well played there by Angreifen. Now he has 2-2s out versus his opponent, who's then forced to consider another 18. He's going for it to counter the 2-2s. Otherwise, the problem is British infantry is actually quite vulnerable to 2-2s. Otherwise, I mean, the 2-2s can really just deal with them because they got no snares. They got no way of stopping the 2-2s once they get going. So without the AC, he is in absolute dire strait versus double 2-2s, and that's on the other side of the coin. If you can get double 2-2s to get rid of the AC, just survive it, you can actually begin laying heavy pressure on the infantry. But again, that can be massive. Of course, here again, double AC, and again, second AC, and you usually do not see that. I mean, most British players will not commit to it because, like, even if they're sort of ahead, it usually means they have to basically throw away whatever advantage they have in resources just to be able to counter this, and that's essentially what happened here. He had a fuel lead, but because the double 2-2s taking out the first one and actually going to really apply hurt here to 3imWeckla, he's forced to commit to the second one. So whatever plans he might have of rushing ahead for medium armor just went down the toilet. And this could allow Angreifen to further catch up and do other things. So, I mean, even end up losing the 2-2-2s. I mean, he still baited out a second AC for it and still ended up doing heavy damage there to 3imWeckla's infantry. So, not bad at all. Not bad at all. I mean, he was really close for that matter to actually get rid of the AC here, number 2. So when he'd done that, that would have been enormous. That would have been just GG right then and there, at least close to GG. So using double 2-2s is a bit of an art, and not one you get to see used a lot. Most players will only go for one, but again, double 2-2s under the right circumstances can be quite potent and quite effective, but they do require a good deal of management. S-mines there, again a hallmark I would say of Angreifen's play. He likes those S-mines, and for good reason. Weapon racks on the way for 3imWeckla, possible Piets, but definitely Bren guns, which by the way was the Czechoslovakian light machine gun with a few modifications. They basically sort of looked around for light machine guns there before World War II, and even considered a Danish light machine gun. But ended up with the Czechoslovakian one. So, little fun fact there. In fact, the Germans used the Czechoslovakian one for the Waffen SS, so they could not get the MD-34 and all that good weapons early on, because they used to consider it not that great, so they had to make do with captured weapons, which included that Czechoslovakian light machine gun. So, little fun note there. So now opening up, getting Veteran 2, very nice here. And we got Teg up here. Likely he's going to go for Puma. We've always seen to an extent that there's possible strategy again, which I think it is. I mean, he's basically going to Teg up, go for the Puma, use that to then stall into tier 4 and the heavy Panzer Corps. And there we go, Doctrine for 3imWeckla is a Royal Artillery Regiment. Sab's dealing with the S-mines there still. Angreifen was able to recover nicely thanks to the double 2-2s. Again, those are, again, quite handy. As always, it is very close in terms of matchups versus the AC. Even though you're technically spending more resources on a double 2-2s than they have, one AC. But again, it can be done, it can be done. But again, it's not easy, trust me. Unless your opponent is just terrible with the AC, in which case it is easy, but that really requires them to be absolutely god-awful. Gonna do something for the light machine guns there. We got the pack falling away there for Angreifen. Section around it, pack falling away. He doesn't quite have the resources yet for the Puma, the 234-2. There we go, sectioning up with the Bren light machine guns to occupy a strong position here, making it harder for Angreifen just to grab the car point and get refueled back here. And these sappers there as the Pioneers. S1 field spotted there as well. MD4 2ing up the eastern side. Note he's using the Ostrom to actually play aggressively because they're more expendable essentially. So I mean, if he extends them, it's not going to be too harsh a loss there for Angreifen compared to the Grenadiers. So he's using the Ostrom to more just aggressively harass and just hurt 3imWeckla's supply lines. That way building up for more resource in the longer run. So, nice work there by Angreifen. Very nice work. Back here, troops healing and forcing. He can go for the Puma now if that is what he wants. Vickers machine away there for 3imWeckla. Possibly in response to the sheer amount of influence that Angreifen is increasingly bringing to bear. Though again, it is a rare sight for a British player to go for the Vickers. But there you go, 234-2 Puma armoured car on the way there for Angreifen. Deutschland. Sniping about there, 18 kills. Valentine Command Tank Mark 11 wing about there. Straight to the pack 14 Panther fast here, could risk losing it. That's the Panther fast impact, doing heavy damage and just beyond the arc of fire there. The Pack 40, I don't think he's going to be able to catch up. Puma, though, is almost done here for Angreifen. We've got 3imWeckla coming up with the AC to probably, screen the retreat of the Valentine tank a bit. Puma, though, is quickly setting out there for Angreifen. Western points being seized. There's 3imWeckla once more switches angle of attack here versus Angreifen. Nice play there. There you go. Pack lands a nice hit there on the AC Mark III. Puma setting out with its 50mm gun.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
He's going to probably try and see if he can't sneak in some hits there on him. Oh, Pan needs to come to the double sections. Puma moving ahead. He needs to be careful, of course. And he gets abandoned. He gets abandoned. AC shoots, hurting the engine. Sab's moving up there. Has he realised it's only been abandoned, or is he going to try and check here? Also moving up support here. He's going to be able to spot it now and then clear it out. Or he might try and take out the AC here inside his base. No, there you go. Takes out the Valentine tank. Sam's moving up, the smoke screen off, and still it's going to get hit by an anti-tank right within his opponent's base. That's going to be lost over the Puma. Main gun out, yeah. Puma down. Got the Valentine tank, which actually is slightly more expensive, so I guess it's somewhat alright, but it would have been preferable for Angreifen not to lose the Puma with the AC still about. Still, that has nonetheless once more pushed 3imWeckla back to his base, giving here Angreifen the 21st Panzer Division a bit more breathing space against the Inselhafen. 3imWeckla, though, is a bit more stuck. He needs to be more careful, and he also needs to lay down some mines, I feel like, here versus Angreifen. Obviously, a lot of resources have gone towards Bren guns, but, still a few mines here and there. Can go a long way. And overall, I think, needs to reconsider his tactics a bit. I mean, so far, Angreifen sort of done a reasonably good job in part. He's just trying to avoid any engagements. He's not necessarily going to straight out win here versus 3imWeckla. Oh, Sniper finally went down, but he's done quite well, so it's not going to be a massive loss. At least not a cataclysmically negative loss. But he quickly cancels the Panthers for another sniper, indicating Angreifen really wants the sniper versus the British. Valentine tank number 2 setting out. That could certainly spur on a second Puma for Angreifen. Of course, long term he obviously wants to take up, so he can't just keep throwing away Pumas if he actually wants to advance a strategy. There you go, Pack 40 flanking the ace. Oh, the Valentine tank there, laying a nice hit. Sniper almost done. Will he go for that Puma? The 234-2. Push into the west, we got the section holding up inside the house. It's starting to look like he is not going for a second Puma, but he hasn't yet to take up either for tier 4 either. Oh, no, there we go. Second Puma on the way there for Angreifen, Deutschland. Of course, the sooner he can take up, the sooner he can also be upgrading the Austrian light machine guns, which would certainly help in the long run just a tad here versus 3imWeckla in his many sections. In fact, he's up to 5 sections now. And in a rare move, 3imWeckla has not boasted any of them, which is actually quite interesting. Normally you'd see that. But for some reason he's not going for it. Could possibly with a sniper, or there might be some other considerations from 3imWeckla that causes him not to aim for bigger sections, just more of them. I don't think the sniper should do that. I don't know, it's hard to say here. Might be the map, who knows. Still that AC Mark III is closing about to 3. Valentine tank being fixed up. Puma number 2 done. Back here reinforcement. Sniper hanging back. Also most of the section there. Puma moving westwards. And there you go, Pack 1 is nice. Good extra target weak point here. Never mind, he doesn't need it. And Puma's going to get it. There we go, AC Mark III went down to the Puma. Schwerer Panzer Schwerwagen. Going to go for the Valentine. Shot bounced off the Valentine tank charge lava. Quickly turns the cracks machine gun there to the Vickers machine gun crew, routing those bastards. Going to lose close to veteran 3. Puma near repairs, and there you go. Pioneers quickly on it. Sniper moving ahead. No take yet there for 3imWeckla. As for Angreifen, we do have tier 4 now on the way. He is certainly feeling satisfied with the destruction that he sees, and really only from the Valentine tank to worry about, which the Puma on its own should be able to handle with pack support and whatnot. That of course also means with the tech down you can then upgrade the Ostrom with the light machine guns, which of course undoubtedly boasts firepower more versus the British. Mills bomb off, their gunnery is routed. Panthers tank moving up, 4 kills so far. Machine gun caught in a really bad spot in the centre, then immediately forced to retreat. Puma good to go. 21st Panther Division on the 7th Armour continue to clash, and we got 3imWeckla, they're going for the 6-pounder gun. Still no sign of tech up. Hard to say there what 3imWeckla is planning or thinking. Six-pounder gun halfway down there for the British. For the Tommies, the Angreifen, as the Germans were fond of calling them. Puma landing a nice hit there on the Valentine tank with its 5mm gun. In terms of effectiveness, it was roughly on the Panther 3's level. It's the higher velocity guns it is. So no use of, to an extent, fighting versus medium armor, although it'd have to in most cases flank them. So there's a reason the Panther 3 wasn't used anymore. That was obviously because it's struggling versus most medium armor from the front, but again for an armored car that was inferior, I guess, less of a concern. Anyway, charging into machine gun fire here, light, medium and whatnot. Valentine tank taking a hit here from the pack 4 to the Panther up on 40. Lost an Ostrom squad, bit of a blow there to Angreifen. In theory, he can always just throw in more reserves if necessary. Heavy Panther core going in his base. Still no taker for 3imWeckla. Hard to say there was planning versus Angreifen. Might be he's struggling trying to ascertain and divine Angreifen's exact plans. Because while I'm seeing a slight increase in players actually experimenting with mobile defense, they're not quite so far, but say, executing anything on Angreifen's level in terms of just mobile defense strategies. Also, when it's able to nap the Vickers machine away there from 3imWeckla, that's definitely helpful. There's all of these sections. The more firepower you can bring to bear, the better. Sniper on the side here. Ostrom support pushing back section. Panther's going to be some time off. 3imWeckla there should be taking up, but he isn't still. What is 3imWeckla planning? What is he thinking? Valentine tank that continue to hold off the German troops, and what is this? We got the Sexton self-propelled artillery piece out here for 3imWeckla. A surprising move there, to be honest. Not necessarily the situation I feel like they'd be warranting it, but here we are. Also, I've got a lot of manpower floating. You could easily afford some Panther gun, more Ostrom reserves, you know, some caches, and there you go. Just more grenadiers. I mean, that works too, though. I would have preferred some Panther guns here. Bakers they're cashing the section here, but again, might notice they are quickly going down the machine gun, part because it's negative count, because just having large numbers of brand light machine guns and sections just allows them, you know, just murder machine guns in a lot of cases head on. Like the only chance that Bakers would have a chance, you know, would have shot at it would have been, you know, if they'd been behind heavy cover, I think. And even then, that would have been slightly riskier versus, you know, that many brain guns and whatnot. Hard to find down, and a direct hit on the Pack 40. Got him a second direct hit. It's already, well, the crew's already dead. I mean, the gun itself is just about to go up in smoke as well, though. Angreifen is rapidly losing ground here to 3imWeckla as he pushes ahead here under cover of the Sexton, delivering a high explosive British sermon. Now he's calling in more artillery around the Pack 40. He wants it dead. Also, he wants to prevent, I think, Angreifen from moving through here, so he's just trying to, you know, block his movement. Oh, he almost got hit there by his own airburst shell. So apparently none of the artillery is really taking care of the Pack 40 as of yet. But of course, easily change. There you go, Pack down. Leaving Angreifen just for the Puma for now. Until he can bring up more stuff. There you go, trying to recruit the Vickers under fire from the British. This time, Fritz is retreating time. There you go, and got a Miller bomb. Oh, Miller bomb. Good lord, this American beer surf fencer, we could weaponize it, yes. That's a brilliant idea, though. Hopefully the Geneva Convention doesn't find out about this stuff. They do tend to be a bit cross about it. Valentine tank pushing back at the Grenadiers. Pack 4 on the way to replace the one lost as he does try to stall for the Panzerkampfwagen 5 back at base. Still no sign of further take up there. Sexton hanging back, almost ready to deliver another tirade against the Germans in language of the British Army that is high explosives. Valentine tank moving eastwards. Ostrom holding up behind this. A few crates under fire there from the Valentine tank, hammering away there with its 75mm gun. And there you go, flanked by the Puma. Deliver a stinging blow to the sides. Seizing the eastern fuel. Panther still some time off there for Angreifen and Deutschland. More fire here. He's basically running into the base home to get a kill there, and he almost got the sniper with that Sexton. Cheeky move there by 3imWeckla. Could theoretically hit some units as they retreat. Or he couldn't even take out the medic bug up, guess, with a bit of good luck. We'll have to see what it ends up with. He's finally taking out though, which is good. Bit delayed here. Almost got the machine gun there with the Sexton, but not quite anything successfully. Did get something killed there, possibly they're just a medic. No, actually one of the machine gunners, so not too shabby there. Obviously not the most effective time damage going on there. Section blob, they're moving forward for 3imWeckla, just gunning down anything with the Bren gun. You can see that most units melt away under the sheer amount of firepower and light cover. It just doesn't help a lot versus that many Bren guns just being hauled up, and particularly once the cover bonus gets added in, they just get absolutely mean. I think he's trying to set up here for a while, and the Grenadiers just shredding them with the Bren guns. But there you go, getting flanked with machine guns and the Grenadiers, stopping the horde there for at least a brief while, giving Angreifen a bit of breathing room. Note the way the machine guns are being used actively and aggressively rather than defensively to push back at 3imWeckla. Just otherwise the just kind of risk getting flanked by a blob and cleared out. Though of course it still needs infantry to screen ahead, so it can at least set up in time to just try and counter the blast while the infantry draw the fire. So the machine guns. Command tanks moving in here. Also got access to the concentrated Sexton barrage, which allows you to just get more barrages out of the Sexton during the sort of the roughly same cooldown period. So that's a little neat trick there. Though so far I've yet to see anyone really make use of this one. But again, there's a nice way. It's kind of a victor target just for Sextons. Puma going in here. He senses the Valentine is easy prey and is going to try and knock it out. In the west here, Savage moving past the Panther Grenadiers. Section routed, almost taken out here, but it looks like he will be able to escape. 3imWeckla still some time from any armor. I'm guessing it's going to be another Cromwell or a Firefly here. Probably a Firefly once he's used to the Panther. Which is what I'm assuming Angreifen's going to get. I mean, he could go for Sturmpanther. Certainly with all these sections, Sturmpanther would make a lot of sense. But there certainly does be, sense for a Panther. We'll have to see what it ends up with. More of the rain down to back up 3imWeckla's assaults. There you go, Baker's in the way. That Valentine's about to flank here. There you go, Pack 4 returns the favour there. And Puma moving in to join the fun here. Oh dear, hit one with his own mines by the looks of it. Not good. They're Puma hitting straight into the entertainment. Palm down the smokes in there as well. Almost got the Valentine, but there you go. Main gun out, and the Puma's down instead. Not far off enough from a Panther, and he probably should be going for that one. Losing the Puma there does hurt Angreifen just a bit here still. 3imWeckla's over on the defense here against the German army still. Lost the anti-tank gun, but there's not really much that threatens to threaten with. Ooh, Valentine down in just for the priest. And he calls in another Valentine. Despite having taken out fun, he ends up just clinging to the call-ins. Like a man clinging to a piece of driftwood after a shipwreck. Except he's the one that wrecked the ship, kinda. Who could have thought that building a ship propelled by American beer wasn't a bad idea? Everyone, Terrans, everyone. Anyway, 6-pounder gun crewed by Pioneers. Nice work there by Angreifen, perhaps a bit risky. There you go, Panther Stop doesn't do enough damage here. Section moving up, they're going to try and clear all the German infantry. Pack forward flank here, the Valentine, now set up there by Angreifen. Panther soon available until the far rain down here on 3imWeckla, or Angreifen actually. They're close quarters barrage this time around. They're still having a bit of rubbish like they're hitting anything. We got Affinity 2 on 20, 3imWeckla setting low on victory point here versus Angreifen now. Angreifen is getting very close to either Panther or Sturmpanzer. Need to grab that carve point back. Sections moving up. Clearing away the barbed wire here. Panther keeps getting delayed, or Sturmpanzer gets delayed as he keeps spending manpower and everything else. So, I don't know. Will he ever actually end up getting anything from the Heavy Panzer Corps at this stage? I think is the big question. Section they hold up by the machine gun. Betty 2 there already found Garden. Very nice. Though he's quickly been pushed back into his base. Losing control rapidly. Though of course he does have an overall larger force. So if he handles his cards correctly, should have still a good chance of pushing back 3imWeckla here. Even if 3imWeckla does have some sort of tank advantage, so again, a Panther could very quickly solve that. Very quickly.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Ooh. Mills bomb off it and almost got the Vickers, but not quite. Machine guns going to be rolling in there, flanking the section, pushing it back. Close to being able to fire again there with the Sexton. Pack and 6 Panther gun moving up on the west side. And we got mobile or counter tactics, very nice uses there. That actually puts him using roughly, well, 4 abilities of the docks, and the only thing he hasn't used is the command tank. That's really the only thing. Right, he's being pinned down by his base entrance. 100 points left. Sadly, the Valentine tank is not quite helping in the current situation here for 3imWeckla. Certainly some aggressive change in tactics going to need here, I think, to break Angreifen's stranglehold, since he's quite effective using those machine guns aggressively. Just put pressure there on 3imWeckla. Perhaps a bit of time too aggressively, but still seems to be working out there.
75 points remaining.
74 points left here for 3imWeckla for the British Army. Panthers on the way there for Angreifen. Deutschland. Fun fact, the 21st Panzer Division in Normandy did not actually have any Panthers, but they received a Panther battalion from the 2nd Panzer Division, which had to give it up then. In fact, it was recently common for the Germans to just shift about Panther battalions wherever they were needed, so in many cases they would not fight with their parent divisions. And for example, in return, the 2nd Panzer Division then received a Panther battalion from the Winhund Panzer Division, or Panzer Division Winhund, the 116th. A little fun fact there. Panther almost done there. Sniper on the way for 3imWeckla now. Rather late response here to Angreifen's Scharfschütze. And there we go. Panzerkampfwagen 5. Gefechtsbereit. And 3imWeckla's got, well, a Valentine tank to try and stop it. Which is, I don't think, going to work out too particularly well here. Looks like though the Saxon's going to first feel the wrath here of the Panther, which misses with the first shot though. I doubt that's going to last. Second shot there penetrates. 3imWeckla is in a really horrid spot right now. Again, he went for the sniper, which is not exactly known for his Panther stopping abilities. Shot bounced off the Panther's armor, rather as expected. Saps are being blasted by the Panther's machine guns. Pin machine bar added there, very good. He's got control of the victory points to a degree, but the problem is he just can't hold them for much longer. I mean, his forces at this stage are just deteriorating rapidly. Collapsing faster than the Italians in North Africa. 6 Panther gun on the way there for 3imWeckla, but his forces are pinned down the centre. The Panther there is looking for something to murder with its main gun. Sappers right on the west, almost wiped out here by Angreifen's defenders. Huge chunk of infantry, plus a sniper there with 13 kills. Panther moving eastwards.
Trouble trying to take one of our points.
And moving towards the base now. With the mighty Panther Kampfwagen 5. Six-point guns moving up, sniper, infantry section moving up. Valentine good to go. Big push here for Angreifen, infantry charging forwards, Panther hanging back here. Machine gets goal to Johnny in there, got ace level down the Vickers. MG42 actually did not get that far.
A capture point is being
So
overrun.
these are all the sections got grenades all trying to clear out the lump of infantry the Angreifen managed to build up.
No need for panic, but we've only
Six-point gun shoots, misses the Panther. I mean, it's all not looking good here from 3imWeckla. He's not breaking the stranglehold here that Angreifen got going against him. He's not trying to, surprise him. So once Angreifen's got an initiative, 3imWeckla is just not really doing any of the things that might help him regain initiative. And certainly I think he might have been a bit too obsessed here with the Valentine tank. And I think should have pushed for something, a bit bigger than a Valentine tank. Instead, he just keeps presenting a nice, neat target for the Panther.
HQ is under attack.
There we go, Valentine tank down. 3imWeckla's forces are dying out fast. He's down to 30 points here versus Angreifen's 3 on 19. And there you go, GG, game over. A loss for the British Army. The 7th Army, he was beaten back by a glorious countercharge by the 21st Panzer Division. Somewhere, I don't know, west of Caen. Very swampy area there, obviously. Or not. Anyway, it's a nice play there by Angreifen. To an extent, nice play there by 3imWeckla initially, certainly relying a lot on the British capabilities swarming the Germans fast, but as the game went on, the Angreifen was able to exploit mistakes with 3imWeckla, and 3imWeckla's strategy basically fell apart as he relied, I think, too much on the Valentine tank, and rather, I think, didn't understand quite what Angreifen was actually up to there, and so once the Panther hit, it rather sealed the deal, but even then before that, he just kind of struggled to do anything more seriously because he just kept calling in Valentine tanks rather than just, trying to move up, so some definite room there for improvement for 3imWeckla. So I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell your enemies. This is Imperial Linking. Cheers. Thank you for watching. You all have one wonderful audience. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for a nice on the episode. Bye.